Good evening from beautiful Washington Starfire Sports Stadium. It is time for an MLS Next Pro Western Conference battle. St. Louis City 2 comes to town looking to extend a two-match win streak as they face the Tacoma Defiance. Hello and welcome into Starfire Stadium. Thanks for being with us on Apple TV's MLS Season Pass. I'm Kylan Mills. It's the first meeting of the season between St. Louis and Tacoma. The Defiance bring in one of the highest scoring attacks in the league, while St. Louis brings in one of the stingiest defensive units. City 2 will look to use their press to turn the ball over high up the field, while the Defiance play a more possession-based style while also using a high line to put opponents under pressure. Both teams will love to take 3 points from this one as we take a look at the Western Conference standings. North Texas SC at the top after winning their last 3 straight. Not far behind, though, is St. Louis with 24 points. They've won 6 of their last 7 matches. Meanwhile, Tacoma looking to bounce back from a tough stretch, dropping 3 of their last 4. A historically strong team in MLS Next Pro play, still very much in the mix with a lot of season left to go. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the home side. They'll come out in a 4-2-3-1, which has been a typical formation for this group. 4 changes to the 11 from last match, headlined by a change in net. Lars Hellerin earns his 3rd start of the season after Jacob Castro had been there most of the year. The 25-year-old came to Tacoma from Colorado Rapids 2. He's a veteran who brings a confidence presence back there between the pipes. On the other side, the starting 11 for St. Louis City 2, they'll come out in a 4-4-2 formation, which is a signature of this club and that pressing style they want to implement. 4 changes for head coach Bobby Murphy's group. One to note, Caden Glover earning the start up top. The 17-year-old is a skillful attacker. He has some speed. The club's first ever homegrown signing with a ton of potential. He can do some damage on the score sheet. Appreciate you being here for this one. A beautiful Thursday evening as Western Conference action is about to get underway. Head referee leading this one is Jacqueline Metz. Once again, Kylan Mills here on the call. Glad to have you along for the ride. The visitors, St. Louis in their white kits. The home side in the dark kits on the left side of your screen going to right. Beautiful night around the Seattle area. Want to mention right around 67 degrees, sunny skies, very light 7-mile-per-hour breeze. There's the opening whistle, kickoff. This one underway between St. Louis City 2 and the Tacoma Defiance. The Defiance getting the ball high up the field right away here after the opening kick. Foul called there on the far side as St. Louis City was able to turn Tacoma over. It's Aquila, Washington, Starfire Stadium, the site of today's matchup. Player on the ground, though. Tough challenge there on the far side. Looks like it may be, I'm not sure entirely who that is on the far side. St. Louis City trying to serve one in there. Unable to come up with the ball here. Tacoma goes the other way. Mentioned it in the open. These two teams coming in with opposite momentum just in terms of their recent play. However, Tacoma playing much better in their last 2 matches, even though they did drop their last one to Ventura County 2-3, the scoreline. Manungu here on this right side, trying to get the ball into Frank Taromo, one of the staples of this Defiance team the last 2 seasons. Tacoma coming off that 3-2 loss at Ventura County last Friday, so they did have a week between games. It was a tighter turnaround for St. Louis City 2, but while they did lose that matchup, rather, they did have the edge, 18-13 in shots, as there's a scramble here on this near side. Neither team really able to get clear possession in these last couple moments. St. Louis City trying to work it out, end up playing out of play for a Tacoma throw. Long throw into the box. Brunel trying to keep it in play. Ball over the end line is going to be called a corner kick, so the Defiance earn the opening corner of this match. They played in short. Ball back on the ground. Kosariense serves it in. St. Louis able to head it away. Ball all the way back to the feet of Lars Hellerin. Mentioned it in the open, earning his 3rd start of the season. 3 goals against, 5 saves. This match, though, very quickly going from side to side, from one box to the other. So far, high pace of play here in the early going. That ball back into the hands of Christian Olivares for St. Louis City 2. On the start last match as well. This is his 6th of the season with the 2nd team. 4 goals against, 7 saves on the season. Gave up 2 against Colorado. The first one, he really came off his line, probably too far and too early in a sort of breakaway situation, but there were defenders there to where he probably didn't have to do it. That's something Coach Bobby Murphy mentioned. As a young goalkeeper, you're still trying to refine some of that in-game decision-making. It's a learning process, and that's exactly what MLS Next Pro play is for. But Olivares on a first-team contract, really impressive with City 2. Last season, starting 8 of their first 12 matches, went 3-3-2, 2 penalty kick wins and a clean sheet during that span. Was injured for a stretch of 10 games. So that thwarted his overall numbers on the season as a foul is called here right in the middle of the pitch. Faisal Batache going down. Earns a free kick here for Tacoma. Here you see Batache, such a good player, strong on the ball. That little pull from behind from Seth Antwi certainly deserved the whistle to be blown. Tacoma plays short. Manungu. A 1v1 with Jaden Reed, outside back for the St. Louis side, who does earn the free kick going the other way. Reed, 5'11" defender, New York native, 2 assists on the season. 2023 made his MLS first-team debut against Toronto back on May 17th. In MLS Next Pro play, started 15 matches last season, of 21 played, more than 1,300 minutes, so certainly brings in experience at this level to this team. Top 5 in the club in interceptions. Also an older player, played 4 years at University of Connecticut. As there on the far side, Tacoma tries to get something through. Ball out of play. Tacoma back in possession once again. Long throw. St. Louis able to handle it. Tacoma really continuing to try to come out on the front foot. This is also a team that will and can press. St. Louis City SC really known for that pressing style. They don't care about possession. They want to get to goal as quickly as possible. Here though, Tacoma could get through. Not sure if that was a shot or a cross. Ended up getting stopped up in the middle of the box. Whistle blows now. It's going to be a kick for St. Louis. City 2, mentioned it, have been on such a hot streak, not just during this last stretch of matches, but throughout the season. Only dropping 2 matches, dropping the opener to Colorado, and then since then, they've only lost 1 game, and that was a midweek matchup just about a week and a half ago against Houston Dynamo Dos. 2-0 was the scoreline in that one, in a game that Coach Murphy said he hopes is just a blip on the radar. It was not a good performance by his team, in his words, but they since have come back and responded. 1-0 win over the Town FC, and a really good performance for City 2. And then coming off a 3-2 win over Colorado last Sunday. That one on the road, a tough place to play Colorado is. Battle here on the other end. St. Louis trying to get into the area. Whistle blows, foul called, but it is going the other direction. Tacoma gets the ball back despite some frustration from Ryan Becker. Here's the through ball play forward, and you see, honestly, from this angle, it didn't look like there was a lot of contact. It looked more shoulder to shoulder from this angle. Not sure, though, from the other side if there was something else going on. Here comes Tacoma, crossing in, gets through. Tacoma back in possession, Daroma. Nungu plays it down into the corner, trying to run it down there. Kosa Rienzi. Throw in deep in the area. Ball cleared high. St. Louis with some space, trying to work it out the right side. Intercepted by the Defiance. Now can they get forward in transition? It's also a club that will look to take advantage of those moments, right? It's all about finding the balance. Yes, you want to possess. Yes, you want to try to draw your opponents out, stretch the field with that possession in order to open up the space in behind that you want to exploit. But also there are moments where you win the ball and you see that space to counter and you do want to attack. Ultimately, getting to goal is what you're going for, whether it comes via possession or transition. Whistle blows here right around midfield. St. Louis ball. Cutting back is Reed. Goes down, foul called, another St. Louis kick coming. St. Louis having some conversations with the official, Jacqueline Metz, about the call. There's the contact from Manungu. Service here coming from John Klein, one of the key pieces of the St. Louis side. 5'7" midfielder out of Olathe, Kansas. Starting in every match but one coming into this one. 3 goals, 2 assists on the season. Scored against Colorado. Nice finish in the box. Can create and score. Serves it in low, cleared away. Going back towards Klein. Seeley playing a little 1-2 here. Captain play by Reed. Reed with space. Tries to cut it back. Well defended. Patache. Good piece of defensive work there from Gallatin Sandness, earning just his 2nd start, his 3rd match played for this Defiance side. Should mention a couple players who are out due to international duty. Of course, there's always injuries, players being called up, or also the MLS Next Cup playoffs are coming up in a week, so that's also going to pull out some of the top academy players from a lot of these MLS Next Pro sides. Sandness stepping in, filling a big void. Crossing in, oh, and the finish just isn't there. Golden opportunity for Tacoma. This is a brilliant cross and into a perfect area. Then leaping is Tsukunomi, trying to get that one out of the air. It's a tough finish when you're trying to bring that one down off the volley. He does a good job of striking it cleanly, but just leans back a little bit too much, trying to hit it with the inside of the foot and sends it over. But that was a really, really good opportunity for the Defiance. Yu Tsukunomi, the 5'9" forward, Japanese national, second leading scorer on this team with 4 goals coming into this one. Didn't start last match, back in the lineup today. Scored in 3 straight matches early on in the season, back in late March through early April. And St. Louis tries to respond with a chance of their own. Cross, or rather a shot, sent out of play. John Klein earning his team a corner kick. Good ball played to Klein. He touched it across with his right foot, which made it a tough angle. Would have liked to see him try to drop it back. A couple other white jerseys in the box. Saw Juan Kuzain maybe trying to run on, or would have had an opportunity to finish if he could have pulled it back. It's a tough angle to take a shot on goal. He may have been trying to cross it in and just couldn't get his hips around it. His momentum was carrying him over the end line. Now an opportunity with a corner kick here for St. Louis. Service deep in the 6, over everyone. Contact in the box. Ball rolls out of play, going the other direction. A lot of frenetic play here through the first 13 and a half, 14 minutes of action between CITY2 and the Defiance. Tacoma clearly with the majority of possession to this point, more than 66%. Here they come on the left flank now. Another dangerous cross in and cleared away. St. Louis City defense, very difficult to score on. They've been good to this point at defending crosses, thwarting transition chances. One of the stingiest defenses in the league. 11 goals against is tied for the second fewest among 29 MLS Next Pro teams. They're also just really good at preventing shots from being even fired through their shot blocking. Just a really, really good defensive unit. A lot of that comes from that pressure and that press. As a hard foul is called here, it looks like a yellow card is going to be issued as Fatache went to the ground. Free kick coming here for the Defiance after a tough challenge there as Fatache was trying to transition. Seth Antwi receiving the yellow. Now will have to be careful throughout the remainder of this match. There's the contact. Deemed to be egregious enough for a yellow. Ball back in play on the ground by the Defiance, building out something they're not afraid of doing, but here is where you have to be careful with this St. Louis press. They can put you under, they can put you in tough positions, and if they win it high enough up the field in a dangerous enough spot, they can turn that into a goal very quickly. Oh, good idea on that ball that almost got through to Manungu, who's trying to make that diagonal run. Trying to split the defenders there. Ball down into the opposite corner, doesn't go anywhere but over the end line. The Defiance really dominating possession here in the early going. Not a lot of opportunities so far here in the 16th minute. 2 shots though for Tacoma, none on frame. Defiance mentioned losing 3 of their last 4, but playing much better in the last 2. Ball out of play there on the far side. Head coach Hervé Diesse mentioned that he was happy with the team's play those last 2 matches. He feels like they're getting back to their identity. They did have to rotate some players. He felt like they should have won against Ventura County, but just unfortunately were punished for silly mistakes. Mental casualness in transition, as he described it, as a hard foul takes place here at midfield. Player on the ground for the Defiance. Going back to that Ventura County game, is rolling around here is Suganomi. Suganomi challenging for the ball, and there you see number 40 in white. Michael Wenzel just takes out his legs. Contact leg to leg, goes down. Might have caught him in the knee area, it looks like he was holding. Suganomi, though, back up and in, so that's good news for this Tacoma side. Mentioned their second leading scorer. Scoring in 3 straight matches back in late March into early April. Last scored on May 19th against Minnesota. Can he keep that momentum going? Signed by this club back in December after a 2023 National Premier Soccer League season with the Dakota Fusion FC. He scored 16 goals in 10 games, which is a ridiculous number, averaging more than 1 goal per game in the NPSL. It's translated to some degree for sure. Not averaging more than 1 goal per game, but 4 goals in 11. Still a strong stat line as that ball's headed away. St. Louis now trying to get their attack going, trying to improve upon the final ball, the finishing, figuring out how to score more goals. Certainly a focus for this St. Louis group. Mentioned just how good they are defensively. On the flip side, 15 goals scored as that ball's headed away. The bottom third of MLS Next Pro play. Reed. Batache on 1v1. Reed gets stripped. Manungu. Batache gets it out, but just can't quite connect. This portion of the match is brought to you by your locally owned and operated McDonald's. Download the McDonald's app today, and when the Sounders win, you will win a free McChicken the following day with $2 minimum purchase, only in the app. I'm a fan of McChickens. That's a pretty good price there. Definitely worth downloading the app and supporting the Tacoma Defiance and this league. Here comes St. Louis, though, into Tacoma's 18. They end up going back out. Good patience here from this CITY2 side. Once again, their goal not necessarily possession, more possession with a purpose and figuring out how quickly they can create goal-scoring chances. But if a team drops into a middle or low block, if a team plays more compact in a low block, you have to figure out ways to break it down. So there still has to be that utilization of possession. Ball brought down, hard challenge. Couple of challenges there on the far side. Some jersey pulling, whistle blows. No surprise there as Sousa was trying to turn the corner. St. Louis, though, 15 goals, bottom third of the league, only 6 assists, which is the second fewest in the league. However, not a huge surprise based on the style of play that St. Louis implements. With the high press, they want to win the ball high up the field, capitalize on mistakes, and get to goal as quickly as possible. When you do that, it can be just an individual effort. As this ball goes through to Manungu, cuts middle, cuts right. Manungu rips one just outside the near post. Corner kick coming. Georgie Manungu with a rocket off that right foot. Here Manungu cuts left. Cuts right, is able to create a little bit of space, then somehow finds the seam between 2 defenders. It's a tough angle because he is outside the edge of that 6. Not a big space for him to try to fire that one in on the near post, but does force the keeper to make a save. And really got a good piece of that ball, struck it cleanly with a lot of pace. However, the Defiance can't get anything of it, but here they win the ball back again. Manungu in the area. Immediately stifled by 3 defenders. See all the white jerseys around him. Stifling defense, a signature of the St. Louis team, whether it's up top in their final third or back in their defensive third. They're going to try to win the ball back as quickly as possible, and they are going to smother you when you have the ball. It's a signature style of both St. Louis City 2 and the St. Louis first team. They play with a high press. No matter where it is on the field, they are going to immediately try to win the ball back. They want to do that as quickly as possible. If possible, they want to win it back high up the field and very quickly and immediately go to goal. Manungu tackled there just outside the 18. Ball cleared by St. Louis. Something that St. Louis head coach Bobby Murphy has said is his team does track passes per defensive action. That is a metric this group looks at. PPDA, it's a metric that that measures a team's pressing intensity, calculated by dividing the number of passes completed by the opposition by the number of defensive actions taken by the team. As a collision happens down here on this near sideline, it's going to be called a throw. Doesn't look like any type of free kick or foul was called. Rather than looking at possession, the St. Louis organization looks at passes per defensive action, which is a metric used to measure a team's pressing intensity. It's calculated by dividing the number of passes completed by the opposition by the number of defensive actions taken by the team. Typically, it's calculated in the opponent's final 60% of the pitch. That means how quickly are you winning the ball back, and how quickly can you get to goal. Here, Tacoma looking to find an opening to get a shot on goal. However, the St. Louis City defense just so tough to break down. You can see it here, the sharpness, the communication, the marking. Here, though, was some space in the box. CITY2 players had their hands up wanting the offside call. A couple of good combinations leading into this from Tacoma, and then there's just some space on that far side for Batache to bring it down and try to fire a shot off. Defiance waiting to identify that trigger for their press, holding their line pretty high throughout this one, and they will look to press as well. Not entirely the same way that St. Louis City does, but they also will try to press. They're going to try to force turnovers high up the field, clog up passing lanes, and prevent teams from getting out of their defensive third. The Defiance have been very good at that historically. A couple of good combinations here around the middle of the field. Batache, playing against his former club, St. Louis City SC, was a huge piece of that group last season as a foul is called here. Sealy going to the ground. St. Louis earning a free kick. This portion of the match is brought to you by Providence Swedish, official healthcare partner of Seattle Sounders FC. Free kick coming here, standing over it. Eric Kinsner earning the start, his 7th of the season in this matchup. 6'2" defender out of Tacoma, Washington. In fact, little homecoming for him. 20-year-old was signed back in March. All out of play there on the far side. St. Louis in possession. Reed lays it off. Sealy goes right. Service into the area, looked good, flew over everyone. Manungu now collecting deep in his team's defensive third. See Manungu doing that defensive work as well, and those wingers playing up top for Tacoma do have to cover a lot of ground. Based on the formation and style of play, they want their outside backs to be able to get forward into the attack, but also those wingers have to be able to play defense, and they're a huge part of the way they shut teams down as well. Ball rose through, and a little miscommunication maybe there on the far side for the Defiance. Oliveris trying to calm everyone down, communicating over there. Big clearance up the field. Klein heads it towards the touchline and over. Tacoma with quite a few new faces this season. Mentioned Batache coming over from St. Louis City2, where he had a very successful 2023 season. Started 24 matches, played in 27 as the whistle blows, ball put back in play quickly. Scored 9 goals, 2 assists, a hat trick in their match against Houston last season back in September. London native, though, took a big risk coming over and playing with St. Louis. Also, just with his style of play and their style of play, it was interesting just tactically to see how that meshed. Style of play for Tacoma certainly fits him better in terms of being more possession-based. Manungu trying to turn 2 defenders, gets it across. No one able to capitalize. Some gritty work there by Manungu with 2 defenders on him, was able to get the ball out and just squirt it towards the middle of the 18. Just waiting for someone to come forward and attack that ball and take a shot. Manungu, a player to keep an eye on up on this right wing. 1 goal, 5 assists, top 7 in the league in terms of assists, tied for the second most, but a number of players are tied with 5. Signed an MLS Next Pro contract back in January of 2023, was a big part of this group last season, but wasn't fully healthy for the full season, so came in and had to play catch up a little bit as the season wore on. Ball now down in the corner, trying to earn a corner kick. It is going to be a goal kick, though, well defended by St. Louis. Manungu last season played in 22 matches, but again was hurt, or rather dealing with a medical issue early on in the season. Finished the year with no goals, 3 assists. Spent the majority of the 2022 season on loan with the Defiance as well, but was able to start to develop. He has all of the physical tools to be a first-team player. He's athletic, he has technical ability, he's very fast. Some of the adjustments he has to make is tactical, figuring out where and how to press, figuring out how to approach inside the 18, working on his finishing ability, because with all those skills he has, he should have more goals. There's no question about it. Getting that last and final thing to come is what will make him a complete player and a true threat up top. So that's something that the coaching staff is working with him on. Coach DSA really complimentary, talking about Manungu, his work rate, and again, just his potential. Really sees him as having the potential to be a player in MLS. Tacoma here working it up the field. And the Defiance is a part of the Seattle Sounders organization, really trying to clear that pathway to the pros that MLS is trying to build, from the academy into MLS Next Pro and then up to the first team. Key piece of this Tacoma team last year, leading scorer Braudilio Rodriguez in 2023 set a club record with 17 goals, was signed to a first team contract in January. Has not played yet with the first team, but still just goes to show how big of an opportunity it is to play with the second team for these MLS clubs. You see players all over the league earning second team contracts. As there was some contact, Klein wanted a foul, long shot fired wide. A little bit lofty from the distance to try to strike from there. Frustration from Klein that there wasn't a foul called, and then the errant shot doesn't pose any problems there for Lars Hellerin. This portion of the match is brought to you by the Puyallup tribe of Indians, a tribe known for being generous and welcoming to all people. Big ball over everybody, 31st minute. Still not a ton of clear goal-scoring chances for either side. Right now, St. Louis is just looking for their first shot on target. They've only taken 1 shot, none on target. Tacoma's taken 4, 2 on target. Right now, the XG 0 for St. Louis and 0.7 for Tacoma. So not a ton of attacking chances here so far. A little more than midway through this first half. The Defiance still dominating possession, which St. Louis is okay with, 61.5% right about at this point. Team's dead even in terms of crosses swung in at 5 apiece. However, St. Louis City winning a vast majority of the duels and aerial duels, which is telling once again, I think, just of the defensive grit of this group, the work rate of this St. Louis group, the pressing style. They're going to challenge you and they're going to win challenges, and they're going to put their body on the line. Tacoma, though, trying to use this possession. Oh, errant pass, big mistake. Klein running it down. Can St. Louis capitalize? Splitting 2 defenders, getting in and getting it through! John Klein opens the scoring for St. Louis City 2. High work rate, high press, 1-0 lead for the visitors. It's an errant pass, an interception for St. Louis City 2. They've got numbers high up the field. John Klein with an elite piece of skill, just bursting between two defenders, finds that little pocket to split them and then changes speed so they can't catch him. And when he gets that space, he just pokes it in before the goalkeeper is able to get there. Elite skill, ability to read the game, decision-making top-notch from the experienced midfielder John Klein.
That was a St. Louis City 2 goal scored by number 41, John David Klein III.
However, a lot of that started, well, yes, St. Louis City has done a good job of making the Defiance uncomfortable. They're using their press. They got a lot of numbers high up the field. It was ultimately a mistake, a bad pass from the Defiance that they have to eliminate. Little mistake like that are the things you've got to clean up. It was a giveaway at the end of the day. Well, yes, you can give a lot of credit to City 2 for their press, just making teams uncomfortable, forcing you to make decisions, having players in passing lanes, having a lot of players high up the field leads to turnovers. At the same time, you can't shoot yourselves in the foot by just giving a ball away right outside your area. Manungu looking to respond, forces a corner kick, or earns a corner kick rather, after forcing a last-ditch defensive effort. Tache standing over it, plays it in short. They did this last time. Ball sent out. Brunel squirts it through. Last-ditch effort once again prevents Manungu from getting the shot off. Another corner kick coming. This short corner worked brilliantly for the Defiance. Here's Brunel attacking that space, drawing two defenders. When he sees two eyes on him, he notices Georgie Manungu has space in behind, splits them. Header towards goal, doesn't have enough on it. Oliveira's able to collect. Really well done and well worked play by the Defiance, and Snyder Brunel did a good job as he dribbled centrally, started to enter the 18, saw those two defenders with eyes on him coming to him, saw that space in between to slot the ball through as Manungu was left ultimately unmarked, played it on the ground. Manungu had a good first touch towards goal, but now he's just got to try to get that shot off just a second sooner before the defender's able to get there. First touch was maybe a little too heavy to where he couldn't get that shot off as quickly. Tough when working in a tight space, a lot of numbers in the box. He had that little thread just between the two defenders, but very quickly St. Louis City stepped over to try to shut him down. Tacoma knocking on the door of an equalizer here on that last possession. Really, St. Louis scoring against the run of play based on how much St. Louis has had, based on how much Tacoma has had the ball and created more shots. Here's some possession for City 2. Ball out wide. Big ball over the top. Second ball up for grabs. That one mishit though and out of play. There you saw Tacoma dropping into more of that low block, and that's where City 2 has to try to create mini transition moments. That's something that Coach Murphy has said to me in past conversations. Even when a team's in a low block, can you create mini transition? Also, can you swing in dangerous balls in the cross and capitalize that way? Can they capitalize on another defensive mistake? A question mark. There on that last play, this Defiance team has to tighten up the passing in their defensive third. If you're not 100% confident, you don't play it cleanly, this St. Louis team is going to capitalize and they're going to punish you. That's where you wonder, they're committed to building out. In what moments do you decide to clear it and send it upfield? In what moments do you decide to try to play those short balls and risk turning it over? That decision-making, finding the balance, a tough struggle, especially for young players going up against a high press. I mentioned the Defiance under first-year head coach, and I mentioned him a couple times throughout the broadcast, but Hervé Diesse coming in his first season after he spent the 2023 season as an assistant coach for CF Montreal, brings more than 8 years of coaching and developmental experience as his team looks to shut down CITY2. They're able to. Looking back the other way, but unable to get something going in transition. DSA mentioning those years of experience throughout the United States and Canada, has made previous stops with Orlando City SC Academy, the NWSL side Angel City SC. Also spent time with the University of Chicago. As there's a couple of players on the ground getting chippy there on that far side. DeRoma having words with Seeley, and then there's an extra push. Mets trying to get things under control here. Both teams jarring. Gotta keep things under control, keep it clean here at Starfire Stadium. Yellow card going to be issued. Seeley is going to receive a yellow card as you see him pick the ball up and have some words, and there DeRoma responds looking frustrated. Seeley following up, looking exasperated as he addressed Jacqueline Metz, the head referee. Seeley receiving yellow. Klein with space, trying to find Seeley centrally. It's well read. Defiance looking for a transition chance of their own. Ball a little too heavy for Manungu to run down. Second ball collected. Brunel lays it off. Their academy product, really exciting for this Defiance side. Cross in and on the ground, cleared. Push from behind. Surprised there was no whistle. That looked like a foul. Ryan Aguilar. Player who looked like raised up his arms. Manungu on the right flank. Couple fakes, scissors, ultimately cutting back as he had a couple of defenders in front of him. Not a lot of space or time for Manungu to really maneuver into the box. Nice little one-touch ball. Kitahara trying to run it down over the inline. So to Kitahara, a player back with this Defiance team, playing in his 6th match, did not play in their last one against Ventura County, but signed a homegrown contract back in October of 2022. Sounders Academy product, was with the Academy since the U14 age group, did play 10 matches and started 10 matches last year with Tacoma. 1 goal, 1 assist, but made his first Defiance debut, or made his debut rather, back in 2019. He's played in a couple matches with the first team, or his first regular season start with the first team last year. Seeley trying to connect forward, ball rolls through. Fans, the best youth soccer teams from across the U.S. and Canada begin their quest for championships at the 2024 MLS Next Cup on June 16th. 22 of the best matchups, including all semifinals and finals, will stream live on MLS Season Pass. MLS Next Cup, where champions are crowned and top talent shine bright in the MLS Players Pathway. As a foul takes place there on the far side, going to be another free kick coming here for St. Louis. Once again, looks like there's some jarring and words being said back and forth on the field. This matchup certainly with no shortage of competitive fire to this point. Should mention that John Klein scoring the goal here. Scored in his 2nd straight match. Mentioned he had a great finish in the box against Colorado. St. Louis City looking to double this lead before the halftime break. Service sent high into the 18. Players scrambling, ball still loose. Headed wide. Cleared high towards midfield. Headed all the way back to Olivares. He waits to pick it up, hoping to draw out someone from the Defiance, and Tsukunomi does step up to force him to pick the ball up and put it back in play. Ball sent the other way. Whistle blows. St. Louis ball right around midfield. Little push from behind, foul called. Tacoma still with the edge here. More expected goals or higher XG. More shots taken and more on target. Opposite story for compared to St. Louis City's last matchup against Colorado. Had the higher XG, outshot Colorado 14-4, 8-2 on frame. They had the edge in corners, 21-7 edge in crosses. And possession was fairly even. CITY2 had more than 51%. They won more duels, won more tackles. Pretty even there though. But really came in and took it to that Colorado Rapids 2 side. Coach Murphy said the response was good for his team after that disappointing loss to Houston in the midweek matchup on May 22nd. Really proud of the team's performance against the Town FC. Wish they had finished more chances. Ball bounces all the way through on this chance, cleared away. However, in this matchup, St. Louis City has been very efficient in terms of finishing chances. 3 shots overall, 1 shot on frame, and it went in the back of the net. Being more clinical, though, something that Coach Murphy has said the St. Louis group really needs to focus on. Also against Colorado, he said they were up 1-0 and started playing like they were up 2 goals and got a little too casual, maybe saw the intensity drop a little bit. Then they went down a goal at halftime, but then they responded, took a huge 3 points on the road, takes away some of the pressure going into another road match here against this Tacoma team. One minute of stoppage time to be added on, according to the 4th official in this first half of action. So not much time remaining, but it is a free kick coming in a dangerous spot for the St. Louis side. Can they be clinical and finish on a set piece? Mets having some conversations after players are jockeying for positioning right around the penalty area. Service deep into the 18, caught and saved by Hellerin. This has to be farther out from goal. It was chipped where there wasn't a lot of pace on it. It looked like it was meant to be a cross, but just too direct to where the goalkeeper is able to easily jump up and catch that. Not much time remaining here in the first half, and not much time at all, as there's the whistle indicating the first 45 in the books between the Tacoma Defiance and St. Louis City SC2. Against the run of play, St. Louis able to capitalize on a bad defensive mistake made by Tacoma. An errant pass leads to a goal for the visiting side. They go into the locker room up 1-0. That's your score at the half. Coming up, Michelle catches up with Carolina Corps head coach Roy Lassiter. We'll be back in just a bit.
Sweet. Ahí está el centro. ¡Gol! Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Huerta. Al frente. Servicio. El tiro. It's saved by Carlos. Con autoridad. El centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área. Le pega. Golazo. Parte externa, va a definir Chicho.
Vamos, dale pues, mamá ya, muévete más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, pon la mano en la cabeza, sacúdete, sacúdete, mira, sacúdete.
All right, MLS store, I need something fresh and clean. Let's see what you got. I need that in my size. I like this. Cream on cream. The fit is cold. Ice cream. You like that?
Welcome back into Starfire Stadium. The visitors, St. Louis City 2, up 1-0 at the halftime break thanks to a goal from John Klein in the 32nd minute. Here's our own Michelle Montaigne with this week's Coach's Corner.
Well, guys, I don't know how I got lucky enough to be sitting down with Roy Lassiter, but here we are in High Point, North Carolina, with the head coach of Carolina Core. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
Coach, I would imagine you're pretty happy for me to be saying the words. We're here in High Point, North Carolina, after 9 straight away games to open your season. Can you try to put into perspective how challenging that actually is, playing 9 straight away?
Yeah, Michelle, it's been very, very challenging. It's, we're playing 9 away games. I don't think anybody in the country or anybody anywhere has probably played 9 straight. And I'm pretty sure somebody has, but it is extremely difficult, right? Not only not being able to sleep in your own bed, but having to travel and play at foreign stadiums and crowds against you, with the travel in between all of that. So it's been very hard, but the young men have learned a lot of lessons. I've gotten to know a lot of the players a little bit better and my staff a little bit better, just being on the road. But it's been some challenging things, but I've looked forward to that.
On the note of the home opener, there is so much excitement building, not only around the league or around the team, but the entire community. How have you personally felt that, the support from everyone here?
It's been tremendous. A lot of support. First and foremost, I'm super grateful to have the opportunity to coach this team, being around the top-notch professional staff that I have, and being able just to coach the young men that I have. I'm super privileged for that, and just super excited to be honest with you, to have this moment. It's a historical moment. It's a moment that the club has been looking forward to for a year now, and they've worked really, really hard to dig into the community, to dig into organizations and companies and associations, to get the awareness and get our badge out there of who we are, that we're in town, and so we're really looking forward to that game.
I've been here for a matter of a couple hours, and I've already had encounters with people out in the community about how excited they are for you guys to be here playing at home. Are there any fun stories or anecdotes from your experience around town?
We see bumper stickers all over the place. There's a lot of places I go, and people are already calling me coach, and I'm seriously feel very, very privileged because of that. And I know High Point is a small town, so everybody kind of knows everybody. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. But it's been really, really good. Getting to know a lot of people that are in the community, people in the universities, and they got season tickets, and we'll be at the game. I'm on the flight coming home, and there's people that are already saying, we already have our tickets already. So those kind of things are really, really nice to know, and know that we're going to have that 12th man coming up this weekend. So those are all good feelings.
Coach, I know you had some experience with the club in Houston as an assistant, so MLS Next Pro overall isn't brand new to you, but this club, this organization is all new. What's your experience been like? I know we're only a third of the way through this season, but how has it been different running the independent side of things?
Well, I think first and foremost, they've been open to asking questions. What works here, what doesn't work here, things that are needed from the professional staff, stuff that is needed for players. We have a lot of young people that work in the organization that are always asking questions on how should I do this, how should I do that. So I'm really thankful for that, for allowing us as professionals and the professional staff that we have to give our input to them and to help them. We don't have all the answers, but we can have them according to our experiences. So I'm really, really glad that I'm able to interject that, and that has made things a little bit smoother. So, but things are going well.
All right, now you've been around a long time, from your days as a player to now coaching. How have you seen the MLS enterprise progress from back in your playing days to now coaching the developmental side of things?
Yeah, it's much more organized. It's much more organized. The interest from the community, the public, is greater. Obviously, we're getting much well-known players, so the organization is really, really growing. Now MLS can pick and choose which cities they want to branch out into, and now just having MLS Next Pro. I can only imagine if I was 16, 17 years old, playing in MLS Next Pro, probably would have been a better soccer player. It would have been a better platform for me. I could see my path a little bit better. So I'm really happy for that, to be a part of that, to have been a part of the foundation that paved that way for players now being able to have Major League Soccer, but also have MLS Next Pro that they can develop in and get to that next level.
Imagining an even better Roy Lassiter is hard to do. But Coach, thank you so much for the time.
You're quite welcome.
Vamos, dale pues, vamos allá, muévete más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, pon las manos en la cabeza, sacúdete, sacúdete, mira, sacúdete.
Really sweet. Ahí está el centro. Gol. Para Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Huerta. Al frente. Servicio. El tiro. It's saved by Carlos Corner. Con autoridad el centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área. Le pega. Golazo. Acaba de pulsar. Amor. Parte externa, va a definir Chicho.
All right, MLS store, I need something fresh and clean. Let's see what you got. I need that in my size. It's not like this. Cream on cream? The fit is cold. I'm ice cream. You like that?
Welcome back to Tacoma, Washington. The halftime break right now between the Tacoma Defiance and St. Louis City 2. It's the visitors up 1-0 thanks to a finish from John Klein. And we'll take a look at exactly how that finish took place and how the half played out, because early on it was a lot of Tacoma, as this was a clear-cut opportunity inside the 18. They just couldn't quite capitalize. That was the story of the half. Another opportunity here, this time on the other end, and this is where John Klein shows exactly how dangerous he is. That time couldn't quite get his hips around to send that cross in, but he'll capitalize in just a bit. Here, Georgie Manungu is one of the more threatening players for this Tacoma side. Really struck that one cleanly. Tough angle, though, on that near post. Did earn a corner for his team, but they couldn't make anything of it. Here's a very long-range shot for City 2. That's going to be a tough one to finish from that distance. Now, there is the mistake from Gallatin Sandness for this Tacoma side, earning his second start. The giveaway leads to John Klein beautifully splitting two defenders, clearing the path, and then finishing before the goalkeeper can get there. Really, really well done and well-worked goal after City 2 wins the ball off that defensive mistake. Set piece doesn't lead to much on this one, but City 2 taking that 1-0 lead into the halftime break. They should feel pretty good after not creating a ton of chances. As we take a look here at the first half stats, neither side had a high volume of shots, that's for sure, 4-4. It was Tacoma that had the edge in shots on target, 3-2. In terms of the corner kicks, it was not 0-0, but rather 4-1 in favor of the Defiance. They created more opportunities by going end line or sending in some of those shots, as you just saw Manungu do, that went out of play. The two teams dead even 7-7 in crosses, so trying to find those opportunities where they do utilize the wide areas, swing those balls in, and then try to capitalize in that way. No surprise, possession battle was won by Tacoma, as they are a very possession-heavy team, more than 58% in that first half. A look at the upcoming schedule for the weekend. A lot of MLS Next Pro play still to come, as things kicking off here on this Thursday evening. 5 matches coming up on Friday, a couple interesting ones. Austin FC 2 and Colorado Rapids 2, another Western Conference clash that's going to take place. Chattanooga FC and Chicago Fire FC. Chattanooga, one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, going to be in action on Friday evening. That's one to watch on that side. 1 match on Saturday, and then 4 coming up on Sunday. Timbers 2, Ventura County. North Texas SC, the leaders in the Western Conference, going up against Minnesota United FC2, Whitecaps FC2, and LAFC2. We'll wrap up the weekend of play with a 9 p.m. Eastern time kickoff. It'll be very interesting to see exactly how the second half of this one plays out. St. Louis City bringing in a 7-2-2 record, sitting at second in the table coming into this one, just 1 point behind North Texas SC. So that North Texas game, very important to determine where City 2 could be in the standings at the end of this weekend. Tacoma Defiance in 6th, 5-5-1, looking to climb up. Now they also have to climb out of a 1-0 deficit here, despite the fact that they created more chances throughout that first half. The Defiance with a higher XG, mentioned it in terms of the shots, fairly even, but did have more shots on frame, and they dominated possession, which isn't a huge surprise. Both teams are pretty even in terms of final third entries, which means the amount of times they get it up into their attacking third, get it up into the opponent's defensive third, rather. So it should be very interesting to see exactly how this shakes out. Can they come back in and capitalize? This Defiance team has been a very high-scoring team throughout MLS Next Pro play. 20 goals, tied for 7th most in the league. Really good offensively, 161 shots, the 4th most in the league. 74 shots on target, the 2nd most. Their 46 shot percentage, which means the percentage of shots that are going on target, is the second most in the league out of 29 teams. So they are creating a high number of chances. They are capitalizing. They're creating high quality chances in terms of being able to keep and get shots that are on frame. 70 corner kicks taken, also tied for the second most in the league. So you're looking at a Tacoma attack that has been very good throughout the season. To be held scoreless through the first 45 is something that's a bit of an anomaly for this group. Although St. Louis City, as I pointed out, crossing in, header towards goal, almost goes in. Cleared high. Seconds into the second half. A near goal scoring chance. St. Louis City looking to double the lead moments into action. Here's the cross sent in, and it's interesting because there is a defender there, Brian Aguilar for Tacoma, but he just doesn't get up and get to that ball first, allowing that header to go right on frame. Helleran forced to get a touch on it, made a great save, was able to react even though there was not a lot of time for him to do so because the ball was so close to the net. You have to be careful. The start of each half, one of the times that teams are the most vulnerable, and right after goals are scored. It can be easy to slip up. Maybe you have a momentary lapse, have a mental lapse in those moments after, and one side can also come out and be very direct or very aggressive in those moments right after to try to take advantage of maybe catching an opponent sleeping. So you see it oftentimes. It's something that most coaches at a high level will harp on. You have to be mentally strong and locked in those moments. Almost a goal scoring chance there. Not the start Tacoma wanted to get back into this one. Now a 1-0 lead for St. Louis City. Not a huge surprise to see a goal scored or a goal conceded for Tacoma. That has been an ongoing issue for them throughout the season. 24 goals against. That's the fourth most in the league for the Defiance. Their 59+ save percentage is the fifth worst in the league. They're also the sixth fewest, have the sixth fewest clearances. As the flag is up, indicating possibly an offsides call there, or foul. Ball going to be put back in play by Tacoma. They try to do it quickly, but whistle blows again for the restart. So figuring out how to concede less goals, a big focus of this Tacoma side. Conversely, St. Louis trying to figure out how to score more. However, this Tacoma team also should be mentioned that they're coming off a very tough stretch of 4 away matches. So you're looking at a lot of travel that can be extremely taxing on the body. All over the country they've been as well. As here, Manungu wins it high up the field, cuts it back again. 2 defenders on, swings in the cross, headed out. St. Louis able to win it back. That trip should lead to a yellow card, and it does as Klein goes down.
Referee issued a yellow card. Defiance player number 53, Sadness.
Sadness receives the yellow there for Tacoma. But this long road stretch certainly has been a factor for this Defiance side, and some of the results that they've seen, as I mentioned, dropping 3 of their last 4. However, could this be the opening? Shot deflected. Good looking chance there for the Defiance as they look to equalize. Coach Diese mentioned that fatigue definitely has been an issue. They've been trying to keep that in mind when planning training sessions, keeping sessions to an hour or less, making sure that his players aren't overworking themselves. Manungu, great technical skill. Tries to get the cross in. Cleared high, but not out. Klein sends it up the field. Out of play for a St. Louis throw. DSA mentioned. So keeping sessions a little bit shorter, making sure that they're staying tuned in with the training staff, figuring out what players need. Unfortunately, though, they haven't been able to really get a break. So this road stretch, they were looking forward to coming to an end. Not coming to an end for too long, though, as they head to the Town FC in their next match. So just a really, really tough stretch before they then will have a stretch of home matches. But looking at their away matches, played at Timbers 2, which isn't as far of a trip, but then at Minnesota United 2, at Houston Dynamo 2, at Ventura County, which is in Southern California. So just a lot of plane rides, a lot of buses. Some of those in different time zones. Takes a toll on the body for sure. As this ball goes out of play here, it is going to be a goal kick coming. Something else Coach DSA said that he's been trying to really ingrain upon his players, a little bit of a younger group compared to last season, and this is a organization that's had a ton of success at the MLS Next Pro level. Should mention the Defiance finishing in second in the regular season table in 2023 and 2022. So really have put together a couple of strong campaigns. Klein with an opening. Splits two defenders, nice fake. Now he goes end line, trying to get the cross in or earn the corner. Ball still loose. Defiance win it back. Tashe switching fields, put a lot on that ball, but just kept in play beautifully. However, the pass forward to Manungu, not on line. Push as that ball went out of play. Whistle blows, foul called. Tacoma earning the free kick on the far side. Coach DSA has said that he is trying to really instill in his players, though, that in general, you have to be willing to do the work. It comes intrinsically, and a big part of their style of play is that you have to be willing to run. You have to cover a lot of ground and be committed to pressing in those moments when they want to press. You have to be able to play when you're tired, and also you have to stay composed. Coach Yese actually said that they love when teams press them because he wants his players to be comfortable playing in tight spaces and being able to build out around a press and capitalize on the space that's left in behind. A lot of times when you get past the first line of pressure, the field opens up. Nice step there. So playing through the press, something this Defiance team wants to be really good at doing, comfortable in, working in tight spaces, working out the back, it's not a secret. His players also really good at dribbling 1v1, especially in the wide channels, as we've talked a lot about Manungu in this match. He certainly has shown his ability to do that and really utilize that athleticism and technical ability to take players on 1v1. Peruvian Sousa, another player who plays out on the wing for this Defiance team, who's shown his ability to do the same. Take players on 1v1. He's another player that Coach DSA says this organization really feels like has the capability to earn first team minutes, make it at the next level. Still has to do some refining. Similar to Manungu, elite athlete, has to improve the decision making in the final third. Still working on finishing and those type of tactical decisions. No whistle, some frustration from St. Louis. Play on. Tashe. Ball up to Manungu. Manungu crosses it in, headed away. Maybe trying to target Sousa there, running on that far post, just didn't quite get to him in time. Manungu 2 defenders on him. Earns the corner kick. Something else that Coach Yese has said about Manungu is now learning to adjust to how defenses are playing him because of how dynamic and successful he's been in the outside. He is getting double teamed a lot, even triple teamed. You saw very quickly 2 defenders were drawn there to him. Batache's cross, headed, saved, second ball, still loose, in the box, shot blocked. Chaos in the 18. Sousa brings it down. His shot attempt blocked by Cam Seeley. Wow, what a sequence though. This is a great cross sent in by Faisal Batache just into a dangerous area. The header flicked on, but it's a great save from Olivares, keeping that one out of the net. Then just a scramble, chaos in the box. Both teams trying to get on the end of it, laying their bodies on the line. St. Louis able to keep it out. Almost another golden opportunity for Tacoma. Once again, feels like they're knocking on the door of an equalizer. They've had a couple of those moments. There were some moments in the first half. But you also see why the St. Louis City defense has the strong numbers that it has. When it comes down to having that gritty mindset in the 18, being willing to do whatever it takes to lay your body on the line to keep that ball out of the net. That's what you see on some of those moments where there's scrambles, where the ball is loose. There's bodies flying everywhere. They're trying to block shots. You have to have a ball winner's mentality in the 18, whether you're on the attacking side or defensive side. All over the top, Klein trying to run it down too strong. Ooh, cheeky flick by Sousa. Kitahara trying to get there, maybe a little contact, but no whistle once again. Kitahara throws it down into the corner for Tsukunomi. Looks like that hit off a defender, and it will be a corner kick. Another opportunity for the Defiance. They've looked dangerous on set pieces, several throughout this match. The short corner option, brilliant. Created a great chance thanks to Snyder Brunel in the first half. That last set piece, the aftermath, Batache sent it in. Service, middle of the 18. Skimmed off a couple of heads, going all the way through. Manungu trying to corral it. Manungu, there he is, 2 defenders on. Another cross sent in. Sousa. Daroma. 2 defenders on. Oh, that's just great composure from Snyder Brunel. Brilliant. Sousa crosses it in, dangerous spot. Tacoma Defiance are serving some of these balls up on a platter. Someone just get in the area and finish one of these. Imagine that's what Coach Diese is saying to himself right now. They've been creating chances. Couple of substitutions being made now for St. Louis. Midfielder Tyson Pierce checking into the match. Started 6 matches this season, playing in 9 leading up to this game. 5'10" midfielder out of St. Charles, Missouri. Started last match, just 16 years old. Signed in 2023 to a homegrown player contract, the 3rd in club history out of the academy. Another player checking in, Brendan McSorley. Another player this organization feels has a lot of potential. Picked 79th in the 2024 MLS Super Draft. A couple of good challenges there at midfield. Tacoma now on the counter. Trying to find Sousa, maybe between the seams. Sends it out of play. McSorley, though, 6 foot forward out of Randolph, New Jersey for St. Louis City 2. 2 goals on the season. This is actually the first match he has not started, which is a bit surprising because he has been so instrumental in this team's attack. But then again, the attack, they want to score more goals. Something's not working, try something else. But McSorley spent 4 seasons at Providence College, 23 goals, 5 assists, and 62 matches played. The senior amassed 11 goals, 1 assist, earning all Big East first team and all tournament team honors. So keep an eye on McSorley up there in the attack. Pretty strong, good on the ball, has some size, can finish out of the air, 6 feet tall. Whistle blows on the foul on that far side. Like Aguilar maybe on the ground. Manungu rather on the ground down there. Kick coming here for St. Louis. See Pierce up there replacing Cam Seeley. Came over from the Earthquakes this season. Low ball bounces all the way through everyone. Not a bad idea sending it through low on the ground. I like those sometimes to mix it up rather than always lofting it up in the air, trying to chip one in for someone to head, especially from that far out. It's tough to get the pace and the angle on it for someone to be able to head it directly on goal, and sometimes those low bouncing balls are harder to handle defensively because you're running at your own goal, the ball's bouncing in front of you, you have to try to clear it towards the side or at least try to avoid touching it towards your goal and a major mishap taking place. It can be very tough to defend, a low ball bouncing through the area. Roma plays a big ball across to Kitahara. Cuts back, tripped up, whistle blows. Key foul in a dangerous area. The Defiance getting ready to put in a free kick. Here Kitahara just completely tripped up. No question about that being a foul as Kuzane was running him down. So set piece coming just outside the 18. Couple players standing around the ball for Tacoma. Brunel, Vitache. Just had some words with Manungu. Also have a number of players who are lined up there towards the penalty spot, towards the back of the 6. Vitache curls it in. Once again, no one able to connect. Feel a little bit like a broken record talking about some of these crosses that have been served up that sure look good. So you see the little fake there from Snyder Brunel, meant to fake out both the defenders and goalkeeper as he made it look like he was going to serve it in maybe with his left foot across the goal, maybe an outswinger. So he had a little hesitation towards the goal. This portion of the match is brought to you by Regents Blue Shield. Together, we health. High ball sent all the way up into the attacking third for St. Louis. Quite the kick there from Olivares. Ball gets through. Kuzane denied. Goes for another tackle, but a foul is called. Kuzane getting a warning here. No card is shown. Tacoma playing it in on the ground. Switching fields, nice ball. Beautiful ball played through the seams. Manungu, flag stays down. Manungu shot saved. Another brilliant chance for the Tacoma Defiance. Manungu attacking on goal, and that's where you see that he just has to refine that decision-making in the box. It also can be very difficult in those breakaway situations. You're flying at a high rate of speed. He's incredibly fast. You're trying to keep the ball under control, and then you have to make a decision about how you're going to beat the keeper as they're coming out. Do you try to strike it as they get off their line? Do you try to chip the keeper? Do you try to dribble and take them on 1v1? Fortunately, he just played it on the ground right into Olivares. But another golden opportunity for the Defiance. Really, really good-looking moment in transition, the right moment to look for Manungu to get in behind. Another foul here on this near side. Sorley goes to the ground. Service here coming from Jaden Reed. Left-footed towards the edge of the 18. Second ball, reined in by St. Louis. Kinsner serves another one in, high lofted across the box, falls through. McSorley, two defenders, blocked by DeRoma. Sousa turns on the Jets. Defended well, though. Going back the other way, but too much on that ball. Nice pass. DeRoma turns, finds Sousa, plays him back. Once again, some nice combination play here from the Defiance. Really well-worked ball. Fitache touches it around the keeper. An end line, a goal line save rather. DeRoma with the second shot. The Defiance continue to create goal-scoring chances. Fitache with a beautiful little touch around Olivares, but then just couldn't get enough on it as St. Louis had multiple defenders flying towards the goal line. They're able to just keep it out. It was a tough position, though, because the ball was flying in as he was running full speed. He had to try to get there and get to the ball before Olivares did. Corner kick sent in deep in the 6. Header deflected. Manungu still trying to get a piece here towards the touchline. The Defiance now with a 1.43 expected goals, or XG. 12-5 edge in shots, 5-1 in shots on frame. Definitely have created a flurry of chances here midway through the second half. However, pause and play as Gallatin Sandnes appears to be hurt, being walked off the field by a member of the training staff. Hope that he's okay. You never want to see that. An unfortunate blow for a Tacoma team that's already short numbers due to a couple players being on international duty, out with injuries, first team call-ups, that type of situation. Brief pause in play here as Sandnes was just walked off the field. Being looked at around the face area by the training staff. St. Louis making a substitution in the meantime. Oscar Benitez checking into the match here for CITY2. Columbia National, 6'4" defender, brings in some size, playing in just his 5th match of the season. Started the game against Colorado, though, in their last match. Played just a couple minutes against the Town FC the match prior, started the match prior against Houston, so has been kind of mixed in and out of the lineup these last few weeks. Eric Kinsner retires, Benitez replacing him. Manungu. Ball through, just not able to collect. Olivares forcing someone to step to him before he picks it up. St. Louis defending quite a bit here in the second half, trying to get it on the other end for once, and here they do earn a corner. Big opportunity. Our head coach Bobby Murphy bringing in some MLS Next Pro experience. Led the club to a 5th place finish in the Western Conference last season. They were eliminated by the San Jose Earthquakes 2 in the MLS Next Pro playoffs in the quarterfinals, 1-0 loss. 2022 had a very successful first MLS Next Pro campaign, finishing 1st in the regular season, but then just coming up short in the final as Crew 2 was able to take the win and take home the championship. Corner kick coming as St. Louis looks to double the lead. Jaden Reed with the service. Some discrepancy happening here with a St. Louis player on the ground and a yellow card being given. Mentioned things have been getting chippy here in this one. Michael Wenzel down on the ground for St. Louis, looking like he's in some pain. Brian Aguilar, the player receiving the yellow for the Defiance. Mentioned this game has certainly been competitive. It has been chippy at times. Head referee Jacqueline Metz has had to separate players as they were jockeying for positioning on some other set pieces. Not entirely sure what contact took place, but team captain Michael Wenzel getting a close look by the training staff. German national 6'2" defender, key piece of the St. Louis team, 21 years old. Has caught the attention of the St. Louis City first team, signed a short-term deal with the first team back in February for the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and is in his 2nd season with CITY2. Played in 29 matches, more than 2,500 minutes last season. Has also represented and captained the U17 and U19 teams. Header goes high. Frustration there as Betcher was able to make clean contact. Here he rises up, is able to get there first. Christopher Aquino now stepping on for Tacoma, replacing Sukanome. Aquino, Pasco, Washington native, met to a lot of cheers. Mentioned Pasco, Washington. Wonder if he has some family and friends in the stands. Great to see and hear. 5'5" midfielder. Just 18 years old, did play some matches with the Defiance last season. 4 started, 11 played in the regular season, scoring a goal against LAFC 2. Signed with the Defiance ahead of the 2023 season. Also was named to the MLS Next All-Star game last season for his efforts with the Sounders Academy U17 team. Joined the Sounders Academy at just 12 years old. Here comes St. Louis, but under pressure. Well, won back by Tacoma. Some good one-touch passing. Really, really clean, smart play from the Defiance. You see that composure under pressure. Itahara lays it off. This portion of the match is brought to you by the Western Washington Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Manungu with 2 on, now 3. Service, headed high. DeRoma turns. Nice touch there by Brunel. So impressive. Really, really like this young player. Just 16 years old, has such composure on the ball, always seems to make the right decisions. Of course, as a young player, he doesn't always make the right decisions, but certainly plays well beyond his years in terms of decision making, being able to read the spaces, get into the right spaces like he did there on that last play, seeing the defender coming behind his shoulder, just making that right first touch. Very crafty with the ball. Shot blocked. Save made. Brunel, a 5'9" midfielder out of Kirkland, Washington, who has 1 goal to his name on the season, starting in 7 of 8 matches he played and coming into this one, just 16 years old. The match against Houston a couple weeks ago, where Tacoma came up with a late game comeback. He scored the equalizer in the 81st minute. With a nice low shot, just put it away. Academy player, signed in December. Long throw. No problem for Hellerin. Time running out here for Tacoma to try to find an equalizer. 76th minute. 1.51 XG, and this is a team that has not struggled to score throughout the season, so this St. Louis defense doing everything possible to make life difficult for them and showing exactly why they have not conceded many this season. Whistle blows, free kick played in quickly on the ground. Sousa serves it in, bounces through. Second ball headed away. Shot well high off the foot of Costa Rienzi. Right idea here by Travian Sousa. A low ball goes all the way through the 6 with no one from Tacoma making contact. Costa Rienzi tries in the second ball that bounces out to him, but does not strike that one the way he would have liked. This portion of the match is brought to you by Umpqua Bank. Costa Rienzi, a big addition to this Tacoma team, drafted 23rd overall by Seattle in this year's MLS Super Draft. Spent 4 seasons at the University of Washington. St. Louis trying to earn the corner. Hellerin gets there. Speaking of Costa Rienzi, trying to create something there on that far side. In college, he played more centrally, center mid, more of a 6 position. Has been playing outside back here for this Tacoma side, but he's so versatile, he can play anywhere. Sousa. 1v1. Serves in a high ball. Clearance made by St. Louis. CITY2 on the counter. Ball ahead to Klein. Klein shoots, saved. Second ball, still up for grabs. Whistle blows, kick coming out. Brilliant save there by Defiance keeper Lars Hellerin. The experienced keeper out of Seattle Pacific University, handling this John Klein shot and making it look easy. Just a little dive to his right. Klein did strike it with a pretty good amount of pace. Probably didn't get it as far towards the corner as he would have liked. See some frustration there as he's bending over after. And a yellow card is given right after that play as well. By the way, Frank DeRoma receiving the yellow, as you just saw in the replay, that being handed out by Jacqueline Metz. Space here for Brunel. Misplays the ball. Earlier I was talking about him always making the right decisions. Maybe gave him a little jinx, as there's a little miscue on the pass. Turning is McSorley. St. Louis goes back. High ball sent towards the far touchline. That's a tough one to handle. Does go out of play. DeRoma playing in that 6th position, a huge part of this team last year as he gets the ball forward. Nice turn by Aquino. Batache. Batache immediately swarmed by 4 defenders. Nice switch. Kitahara. Sousa's cross. Once again, the ball was loose momentarily in the box. Tacoma couldn't connect. Aquino coming in has really done well, connecting on a couple nice passes. Good decision making as well, and looking really dynamic on the ball. Ball out wide to Sousa. DeRoma. DeRoma again. St. Louis City doing a great job just blocking up the passing lane, sitting in this low block, playing compact, not letting Tacoma get anything through, waiting for the moment to step into that passing lane and win the ball, as Klein almost just did right there. Manungu cuts it back, slots it across, shot blocked. Aquino on the second ball sends it high. Another golden opportunity for Tacoma. They're knocking on the door of the equalizer. Great work and great control by Georgie Manungu, traveling at a high rate of speed, taking on a defender 1v1, keeps it under his feet as he cuts it back, and then smartly just plays it on the ground nice and easy to his runner coming across. The shot, though, just sent high. Hitache almost got through to the far post, and there it is. Sousa has it on a platter and sends it wide. Frustration building for this Defiance team. They continue to create chances, but have yet to capitalize. Sousa was wide open there on the far side of the box. St. Louis has to do a better job of marking. Makai Joyner checking in for St. Louis, replacing Ryan Betcher. Also checking in Carson Locker. 16-year-old academy player Carson Locker checking in, will be making his debut. Has been rostered in the past in 7 matches, saw time in 5. Has not played yet this season. Here comes St. Louis. Certainly looked like a push from behind. It will be called, and another yellow card is going to be issued. This one to Georgie Manungu. Here's the play. There you see Joyner turning with the ball, and there definitely is a push from behind as he was approaching the 18, excessive enough to warrant the yellow.
Yellow card, Defiance player number 93, Georgie Manungu.
My mistake on Locker. That was this season. I don't know why I thought it was last season. He has subbed on a couple matches, so that was this season. With 7 matches he's been rostered, has seen time in 5. St. Louis, Missouri native, 5'9" midfielder checking in. Still, though, great to see a 16-year-old academy player getting opportunity with the St. Louis side as CITY2 prepares for an opportunity here on a set piece in a good spot. Both teams have to be careful with a number of players with yellow cards. Shot on goal, brilliant, and an even more brilliant save. Lars Hellerin has stepped up big in just his 3rd start of the season. This ball struck cleanly with a lot of pace, placed well, looked like it was going upper cage. Hellerin reads it well, touches it away. Corner kick coming now. CITY2 looking to double the lead here in the late moments. Jaden Reed taking his time. His time is on the side of this CITY2 team to this point. 5.5 minutes plus whatever stoppage time is added on is all they need to close out. But this Tacoma Defiance team has really been pressing and really creating a lot of chances. Reed's cross, middle of the 6, headed high. And here's a shot, a clean look. Hellerin denies. This one sent out of play once again. And it's going to be another corner kick coming. So here's the initial header. It's sent high. Second ball just headed kind of right back in the mix, and no one tracks McSorley. He's able to just sneak in that pocket right behind two defenders who are watching the ball. And then a 1v1 situation. Hellerin comes up huge. Really big play from him for this Defiance team. Reed will try it again. Reed's service, middle of the six, but it is caught, handled by Hellerin. He looks to quickly redistribute, and he does. Goes long to Sousa. Sousa, though, by himself with 4 white jerseys around him. Not much help. Still did a good job battling, earning a throw-in there on the far side. All right, the Defiance have got to start throwing numbers forward here. You're running out of time. Burke falling now, checking into the match for Tacoma in the dying moments of this one. 1 goal on the season, playing in his 7th match. More veteran player on this team. 26 years old and a former academy product. Played with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC last season. Ball in the box, cleared. Whistle blows, will be sent back for a kick coming out. Fans, the best youth soccer teams from across the U.S. and Canada begin their quest for championships at the 2024 MLS Next Cup on June 16th. 22 of the best matchups, including all semifinals and finals, will stream live on MLS Season Pass. MLS Next Cup, where champions are crowned and top talent shine bright in the MLS Players Pathway. DeRoma doing everything in his power to put this St. Louis City team under on the press. Getting forward from that 6 role that he plays in. Once again, the Defiance really have to start throwing everything they've got forward to find an equalizer here in the late moments. St. Louis, on the other hand, just wants to send the ball as far away from their goal as possible. Strategy is to get it up into the corner, hold on to it, let the time wind down. But as much as possible, get it out of your defensive third. Try to weather this storm here as you expect a home side down a goal to really start to throw everything they have, the kitchen sink, up into the attacking third. Ball up the flank to no one. Not really what this Tacoma team's looking for. Balling, though, applying quite a bit of pressure. Defiance trying to win it back. Sousa. Sandwiched between 2 players there. St. Louis clears. Manungu. The number of white jerseys around him. That might have been a nutmeg. Ball put central. Aquino doing a good job. Nice skill, able to hold off 3-4 white jerseys and somehow get the pass off. Really been impressed with him here. Miscue, though, as Sousa was not making the run where the ball was played. Connection not quite there. These 2 sides will meet again this season in the last game of the regular season, in fact, on October 6th, right before the MLS Next Pro playoffs begin. So they'll have quite a bit of time after this one before they meet. Up next for Tacoma, they play at the Town FC. 4 out of 5 of their matches on the road during this stretch. Just a really, really tough one. Then they're back home for Real Monarchs and Timbers 2 to close out the month. Joyner, leading goal scorer for St. Louis. Goal kick coming. Defiance need to get it up quickly. Play it short. Joyner with 5 goals, just 17 years old. 5 goals in the last 6 games, in fact. Talk about a super sub. Defiance boxed into their own corner thanks to the St. Louis City press. Joyner named the Rising Star of Matchday 8 back on May 6. Scored a late game winner against Minnesota United FC 2. and scored in back-to-back games during that stretch. Academy player as well. 4 minutes of stoppage time to be added on, according to the fourth official. So still a little bit of time here for the Defiance to come up with something. 1.91 expected goals, but nothing to show for it to this point. 17-10 edge in shots, 5-4 in shots on target. On the other side, St. Louis City doing a good job weathering the storm and somehow, some way keeping them out. Whether it be good saves, last-ditch defensive efforts, clearances just off the goal line. For St. Louis, up next through June, they've got Houston, Kansas City, and Vancouver. Their next 3 matchups. They already beat Kansas City earlier this season. Just fell to Houston, but will have a chance to exact revenge. Pitache slots one through, but just intercepted or at least touched at the right time. Ball played back, and it was dangerous because it did not have enough pace on it as Hellerin was forced to come well outside the 18. DeRoma turns. Not much time remaining. Hard challenge there, McSorley using his physicality up in that press. All up to Sousa. Was not called out of bounds. Called a Defiance throw. Kitahara looking to get it in play quickly. Big switch. Manungu brings it down. DeRoma running through. Manungu just slips. Ball out of play. Feel the intensity and the tension here at Starfire Stadium. Tacoma has knocked on the door a couple times of an equalizer, but has not been able to punish. Tache gets it forward. Manungu. Service takes a deflection, bouncing across the box, the header, oh, but it's touched away. Brilliant save. Christian Olivares keeping it out. Here's the high service, which initially didn't look like much, but no one comes and clears it for St. Louis. It bounces all the way through, and then the header from just feet off the goal line is somehow saved by Christian Olivares. Brilliant piece of goalkeeping and a quick reaction time for him to keep the equalizer out here in the dying moments. Big ball played forward. Klein has McSorley. Instead takes it to the corner. A little bit of contact. Flag does go up. St. Louis City ball. CITY2 just wanting to milk the clock here. Can't be much time left, possibly a last play or two before this one is called. There it is, the final whistle. St. Louis City escapes with the 1-0 victory over the Tacoma Defiance. A big win for one of the hottest teams in MLS Next Pro. Tonight's man of the match is St. Louis City SC midfielder John Klein, scoring the game winner for his side, and this is presented by Adidas. Here's the game-winning play. It's a bad giveaway by the Tacoma Defiance. Immediately, Klein gets the ball, though, and comes up with a brilliant piece of skill work, splitting two defenders, finds that seam right between them, and then somehow gets the shot off before the keeper can get there and just squirts it through. Really, really well played and skillfully played goal by John Klein. Goals in back-to-back games, a nice finish against Colorado, and then a game winner here in Tacoma, Washington. Once again, that is presented by Adidas. Appreciate you joining us here for this MLS Next Pro broadcast. It's St. Louis City 2 that comes away with the 1-0 win over the Tacoma Defiance, improving to 8-2-2 on the season. They sit in second. They will momentarily at least climb up to first over North Texas SC. They do not play until Sunday. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Kylan Mills. Once again, the final score 1-0 St. Louis. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long, MLS Season Pass on Apple TV, and MLSNextPro.com. Have a fantastic night and an even better weekend.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.